What's going on, guys? Sifu Greg here with the Authentic Shaolin Kung Fu School. Today we are going to be doing part 2 of Sword and Shield. So I have my warrior here, Sifu Lloyd. He's going to be helping us out with understanding a little bit more of why we use the Sword and Shield, how we do it, how we work it. Remember, guys, big help. Give a thumbs up. Definitely check that subscribe button so that we can give you better content every single week. Come on back, check it out. Everything that we do with Sword and Shield should be able to be used with open hand techniques. So let's check it out. So from here, we go into guard stance, which we already know. Keeping this here, don't let it drag down. Keeping above the shoulder, holding back here. First technique is gonna be a press, disengage. So pressing here, we're gonna disengage, come around, shield, and then thrust. And then from here, we come back to guard, making sure that the sword comes around and what we call washing the face. So one more time, from guard stance position, we're gonna come in, press, sit back, disengage, shield, thrust, come here, step back into our guard. And I'll do that from the back. When we step back into our guard stance, we're gonna come in and press. We're gonna come around, shield, forward. From here, we can obviously cut, come back into our guard. And if you notice, as my hand comes back, it really guards the back of the body. The shield really becomes part of who I am. And it really guards the whole body. We want to make sure that we have control. So that's what this is all about. All right? So what we're going to see is Sifu Lloyd has a spear. So this obviously is sword and shield, spear, against another broadsword, against really any kind of weapon. This is exactly what it does, right? It shields us, it protects us. So my opponent comes in with his spear and comes in, I'm protected. So I want to be able to protect and disengage. That's the whole point of this. This movement here gets me closer to my opponent. He doesn't want me that close. I need to break the distance by clearing and guarding so that I can come and attack. And right away, if you notice, he steps back immediately because he wants to keep that distance. He wants to create distance. That's why the spear is where it is. So I want to move out of the line of attack and come here, and he might bring it back this way, and I want to come here. He's got to bring it this way, so I'm going to block, and then I'm going to throw and thrust in that way. And then I keep my distance and I come back, or I attack forward depending on what we want to do. So one more time, guard stance position. I go one here, he comes in, blocks, come in, back here, and I can protect. So let's do it the other way. So from the first movement, I press. He comes back, I disengage, come in, back to guard, and step back. Again, from guard stance position, push, block, disengage, come in, back to guard. Good. So, if you notice, when I come back to disengage, say the weapon is here. If I decide to disengage, I'm not doing this. I disengage this way to clear. So I don't want to damage my blade. So I use the back end to hook and pull. Okay? So if he was bringing the weapon back, I trap, get it out of the way, bridge, and then thrust in. Okay? One more time. He comes back from here, almost like a trap. So he comes back to hit, and I go 1, 2, and guard, and then come in. And I make sure that I'm guarded. I protect. Guard stance position. We're going to use the same premise of same motion, right? So say my opponent comes in and I'm here. Say he uses the opposite side of the weapon to come in. So now my sword becomes the shield, right? So he comes in and I'm going to press here. He comes back this way. I come this way and I can use the sword to bump my opponent, to raise the spear up so that I can come in with the thrust. Because we're going to keep with the same motion, same movement, except that right from here, it might not be a disengage. It might be here, and I might bump my opponent to try to get through. Okay?
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
So from guard, again, we're going to start with just a basic movement. Now from here, I use the shield to try to get into my opponent. From guard, I press here, block, use the weapon, and then thrust. Okay, now remember what we did last week is we were using the weapon as a step to press in. This is just simply utilizing the first part. Coming here, blocking, utilizing the weapon to get it out of the way, and then press, and then try to sneak in with my sword. Now we were talking about full range. So without Sifu Lloyd ripping my floor with the spear, he's gonna attack low, and I'm gonna come here and come through. So this is gonna be low and come through.
Rip on the floor.
Huh?
I ain't not ripping on the floor.
Ah. Relax, I know you're a professional. So come in, 1, 2, press. Right from here, I come in. So remember what we did last week, coming all the way through, right? So, if my opponent strikes low, I'm here, and then as I advance, I want to get my weapon or his weapon off of my weapon so that I can move forward.
So what I'm using here, because this is very, very dangerous for me. So as I do this, you notice I'm pressing on his, so when he disengages, I'm using that pressure to know when he's coming forward. Because if I try to like, boom, and he disengages, I'm in a world of shit now.
Yeah. Yep. So, striking low, I guard, I come right in. And he plays it smart, so he backs up. Because again, he's got a spear, long distance. He wants to keep that distance.
Yeah.
So
that shield could potentially break the tip off my spear.
So that's, if you look at it, right, the ridges in the shield catches
it.
The spear. That's why, it's one of the reasons why it's not smooth. So it catches. So I can now press it.
Or and twist it. There goes my tip.
So guys, to wrap this up, this is just one lesson. Next week we'll go with another style of motion and movement, basic movement. This again is just blocking, clearing the drill, clearing the weapon, and then thrusting, right? So that's all we just did. Really, really basic. Always starting from the guard, keeping the shield in front. This is, again, just, there's so much involved with sword and shield, and I was actually teaching it yesterday, and we were talking about it yesterday. And with sword and shield, it's not like using tiger hooks. It's not like using double broadswords or double butterfly swords. It's a sword and shield. One thing is doing one thing specifically at the moment, the other one's doing something else at the moment, and they both need to work together, and one hand can't fall asleep. The other hand, both hands have to work together, but they're doing opposite things, right? So same thing when you're fighting sanda, right? When you're fighting sanda, one is out, the other one's protecting. So it's the same kind of concept that we have to be martially aware of both sides of our body at the same time. Would you see?
Yes.
Want to elaborate?
Yes. So the whole premise of the sword and shield, obviously, this was a weapon that was used on the battlefield. So you got to remember
It's getting fucked up.
Yeah, it's getting it's old.
Yeah.
So you got to remember that these things were used on a battlefield against many people who's surrounding you and moving around. So that's the premise of the shape of the weapon, right? Because it had to withstand pressure from not just a spear, but from heavier weapons.
Yeah.
So that's why it was tightly woven like that, because if somebody came and swung at you with an axe or something like that, it just had to be able to withstand the pressure and not break apart.
And if I'm not mistaken, I mean, between the weave and the rattan and everything else,
Yes.
it's a pretty heavy.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Yeah,
heavy.
so-
There's a lot of
So
spring.
if you notice, when he blocks, he just doesn't just take it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The weapon, so in the basics, he's what with the weapon? He's always doing this with it. And this kind of like ebbs off the power of whatever weapon's coming at him. And plus, if you hit somebody and they got the ridges in there, you just gonna rip somebody up. So it was a really devastating, deadly weapon on the battlefield if you knew how to use it well. And that's why it was made out of rattan and not metal. Because you got a heavy shield.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be that effective.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't a, I don't even know what they call it, melee, like a heavy melee weapon. Like it wasn't like a heavy armor.
Yeah, it's not like 300.
Persian! Come and get them!
Right? The premise of the 300 with those shields was they were heavy, but the size was because they were able to what?
Make a whole shield.
Make links. Links. So their approach to battle on the battlefield was different than China.
Yeah, very different.
Very different. So people will sleep on the rattan because it's rattan. But this was prevalent in China and not in Greece. So they had to make something that was solid that they would use on the battlefield with the materials that they had in their region.
Yep.
But trust me, when he's pushing, it's not me just like, all right, he's pushing.
Yeah, you feel it. You feel it.
You feel it.
You definitely feel it. So guys, I hope this lesson worked for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. This is something that I want to continue to do. So please, guys, hit the subscribe and hit the like, because I noticed 70%, I'm getting 70% of the people watching are not subscribed. So definitely subscribe and help. And if you haven't, check out the Patreon page. It'll give you a lot of information, a lot more information than I'm giving here on YouTube, and you don't got to deal with all the commercials. So come and check it out. Other than that, guys, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed. You enjoyed? He enjoyed. That's his happy face. We'll see you later.